Hello, Year 8. This is the solution to Week 23 Recall and Retrieve. I'll be going through the first 4 questions. If you are here for the answers for questions 5 to 7, then check the timestamp in the description below. Can you make sure you correct any questions using a different colour for the ones that you could not complete, and add extra working out where appropriate? Question number 1 is a function machine. It is 3x take away 6, which is telling us to times x by 3 and then take away 6. So f of 2 just means substitute in the number 2. So we need to do 3 times 2 take away 6, and that one is 0. For f of 8, it's telling us to substitute in the value of 8. So we need to do 3 times 8, which is 24, take away 6, which is 18. Question 2, it says find the size of angle x. Well, the shape that we have is a quadrilateral, and quadrilaterals add up to 360 degrees. The little square symbol is a right angle. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add up the angles that I've been given and see what they come to. So that adds up to 5. My 10s adds up to 16, 19. And my 100s now add up to 2. I think I can do the rest of this quite happily in my head because I'm doing 360 take away 295, which is 65 degrees. So x is 65. Question 3 is an equation with a bracket. The first thing that we need to do is multiply out the bracket. So we do 5 times t and 5 times negative 2. So this is the same as 5t take away 10 equals 35. I'm going to use some inverse operations. The inverse of take away 10 is add 10. So I am going to add 10 to both sides of my equation. If I add 10 to both sides, it becomes 5t equals 45. And my final inverse is to divide each side by 5. When I divide by 5, t equals 9. Remember, you can check an equation by substituting back in. If t is 9, do the bracket first. 9 take away 2 is 7. 5 times 7, 35. You know you've got it right. Question 4, multiplying fractions. I'm going to do some cancelling first. Both of those are in the 5 times table, so I'll divide both of those by 5. That is all the cancelling I can do. Now I just need to multiply the numerators and denominators, so it is 3/14. If you have the answer 15/70, you just haven't cancelled your final answer. Question 5 asks us to calculate. I cannot do all of this in my head, but I can do the bracket part. So 12.6 plus 3.9. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to add 4 and then knock off 0.1. So if I add 4, it would be 16.6. So it's 16.5. So I need to do 16.5 times 1.6. So I'm going to do the multiplication, 165 times 16, and then figure out where my decimal point needs to go back in. So I'm going to start with 165 times 6. So that is 5 times 6 is 30. 6 times 6, 36, add the 3, 39. 1 times 6 is 6, add the 3 is 9. And then 165 times 10 is just nice and easy. Now I need to add this up. 0, 14, 16, 2. I know that there are 2 decimals, so I could put 2 decimals back in my answer, or I could just approximate it, and 16 times 2 would be 32, so it's going to have to be less than 32. The decimal point has to go there. So the final answer is 26.40 or 26.4. Question 6. Share 216 in the ratio 2 to 7. Well, remember with ratios, you need to count up how many parts there are. There are 9 parts. So if I have 2 parts and 7 parts, I'm splitting it into 2/9, because there's 9 parts in total, and 7/9. So I need to do 2/9 of 216, and I need 7/9 of 216. I'm just going to do 216 divided by 9, because I can't do it in my head. So 9 into 2 didn't go, 9 into 21 goes twice with 3 left over, and 9 into 36 goes 4 times. So if that's 1/9, 2/9 would be that doubled, which would be 48. 24 times 7 is 168. Remember at the end you can check by making sure that these add up to what you started with. And finally, question 7, as there is no question 8, we have a frequency tree. It says a group of 120 people were asked if they had a PC. 75% of those asked had a PC. So we start with the 120, and 75% of that, halve it again, is 30. So this is 90. No PC is 30. Of those who owned a PC, so these people, 60% also had a mobile phone. So 60% of 90, well, I know 10% is 9, so 60% is 54. Remember, these branches would have to add up to 90, so this must be 36. It says in total, 55% of all the group owned a mobile phone. Right, a little bit trickier here. So we've got 55% of 120. Well, I know that 50% is 60 and 5% is 6. So 66 people own a mobile phone, of which there are already 54 of them here. So I need an additional 12 people owning a phone, which means no phone. Remember, these have to add up to 30, must be 18.